And now you can remove the palms from your eyes. So friends, I hope all of you had a wonderful meditation experience. Thanks a lot for being part of this group this morning. And now for wisdom sharing. So as you know, since last 3 months or something like that, I've been going through the chapters from this book, Happiness Here and Everywhere by Just Win Singh. And finally, today is the last chapter. So just a brief recap of what chapters we have seen so far. So the first one was on how to deal with depression, mild depression. So basically, cutting down on the inertia that has come in your life, maybe. In chapter 2, we saw why were you born or the purpose of your life. Chapter 3 was on power of a smile. So, sometimes smile is the source of your joy, and it is free. Chapter 4 was on stop judging. So just be the good person that you expect others to be. Chapter 5 was on de-stress yourself. So basically take time out. The best time to de-stress yourself is when you have no time for it. Chapter 6 was what is unconditional love. So basically be the source of love. Love everyone. Only then you will know what real love is. Chapter 7 was manage your expectations. So basically have realistic expectations. Chapter 8 was go with the flow. So basically trust life. Chapter 9 was on true humility. So be a humble person. Resist the temptation to brag. Chapter 10 was what is real contentment. So basically inculcate gratitude in your life. Be thankful to everything that you have in your life. And then you feel contented. Chapter 11 was on warmth of friendliness. So, don't be out of the kingdom of friends. So, see God in everyone. Instead of trying to impress people, try to make friends, and you will see how many good friends you can make. And finally, chapter 12, we teach people how to treat us. So sometimes we have to fight for our happiness. This is what the author is saying. So let's look into this chapter. Let's begin with some inspiring thoughts. So the first one is from Dr. Seuss. He says, be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. The next one is from Emerson. To be great is to be misunderstood. So, the third one is from Jeffrey Fry. The difference between self-love and being in love with yourself is that one results in giving and the other in taking. Okay, so there's a difference between self-love and being in love with yourself. And finally, Just Win Singh, he says, the author, often most of us get the report card of our life graded by the very people who care the least for us. So just ignore them, yeah? So now let's see here. Look around you and you will notice that confident, self-determined individuals don't spend time in explaining themselves. They just do what they feel is correct for them. While respecting others, they are true for themselves. Even if the people disagree with their ideas or lifestyle, they do not bother since they know that everyone sees this world in his own individual way. So only a few will see the world the way they see it. So if you are someone who is living the way he wants, you are quite surely already happy. However, if you are feeling like a puppet whose strings are being pulled by others, then you can never feel authentic freedom and in turn genuine happiness because the control of your life is in the hands of others. So take control of your life to find real happiness. Only when your usefulness is creating joy in your life are you truly giving and really being of service. If you are doing things because you have to, then you have allowed others to control you and put you in such situations. It is therefore important to understand that no matter where you are or who you are, you teach people how to treat you. The key is being assertive without being aggressive. So basically, this chapter is on being assertive. Yeah? So, and what is assertiveness? Assertiveness is the ability to honestly communicate what we want, feel, or think to other people without any intention of manipulating, using, or harming them. So assertiveness is being, very strict and being able to say what you want to say or do what you want to do, but the intention is never to manipulate, use, or harm other people. So we know all this, but why do people don't like being assertive? Yeah. So most people dislike being assertive because they have a fear of disappointing other people. They are afraid of being disliked or not accepted, or are afraid they may hurt others. Society often discourages assertiveness because the difference between appropriate assertion and destructive aggression is still not clear. So we should be assertive but not aggressive. But the main purpose is stop being a doormat. If the people in your life treat you like a doormat in an undesirable way, you need to figure out what you are doing to allow that treatment. Find out what you are doing to encourage somebody's abusive behavior, insensitivity, exploiting actions, etc. Till you do that, you will never be able to realign the relationship in a healthier direction. If someone is aggressive, bossy towards you, and if he gets away with it, it means you have allowed him to continue with his unacceptable behavior. It is as simple as that. For living a happy life, you must take responsibility for your own feelings, behavior, pain, health. You may temporarily be able to please someone by altering your behavior to suit his, but in the long run, this will simply undermine your self respect. So, at any cost, you must learn to put yourself first. But again, there is a difference between selfishness and self love. Often one feels that putting oneself first or self love means selfish. So, it is important to understand the difference between the two. Self love means when you love yourself as much as you love others. It is based on love for all, including you, without any intention of hurting anybody. Selfishness, on the other hand, means when you love only yourself, it is based on greed and you're even ready to harm others if required for your own benefit. So self love basically means stop forgetting about yourself. You stop forgetting about yourself. But in this, when you try to be assertive, when you try to show self-love, there will be a lot of hurdles. And the, the most important one is be prepared for a lot of guilt manipulation. A lot of people will resist your changing the status quo. You have taught them the rules they are now comfortable with, and now you want to change them. So they will resist you. The resistance will often accompanied by allegations such as you don't care for me anymore or you are being selfish because making you feel guilty is the only way they can prevent you from being an assertive yourself. But you must remember they are responsible for their feelings and not you. So stick to what is true for you, because how long will you be able to separate yourself from your soul in order to go along with what the other person wants or thinks? Remind yourself that if you turn against your own needs just to satisfy somebody else's, and usually someone close to you, you will obviously feel depleted, frustrated, and angry. And as Christopher Morley has beautifully stated, there is only one success able to be able to spend your life in your own way. And then there is a small poem, The Golden Mean. So mean as an average. There are three possible approaches to the conduct of interpersonal relations. The first is to consider one's own self only and ride roughshod over others. Okay, so be very aggressive and just be selfish, basically. The second is to always put others before oneself. And the third approach is the golden mean, where the individual places himself first but takes others into account. So that's the poem by Joseph Wolf. So don't forget yourself, because ultimately it's your happiness that counts. So the action plan, the first one is break away from your addiction to give justification for everything you do. There is no need to go about explaining your life. Most of us look for reasons for doing practically everything in life, even taking a bath, singing on the road, or simply relaxing. But it's time that we realize that if it makes you feel good, isn't that reason good enough? So stop justifying and start enjoying. So that was action number one. So no need to explain yourself all the time for everything that you do. The second is happily let people disagree. Cheerfully allow others to have a different point of view. You simply decide not to care too much about what they think. By doing this, there is no need to argue. Try it. It's a very liberating feeling. So if people are not agreeing with it, just accept it. Finally, a joke. A lady was going out for the day. She locked the house and tacked a note for the milkman on the door. So she put a note. Nobody home. Don't leave anything. When she got back that night, she found her door broken open and her house ransacked. On the note she had left, she found the following message added. Thanks, we haven't left much. So that was a joke. That was the end of the chapter. So any sharings? If you have something, you can unmute on the book overall, on this chapter, on our meditation, music. Yes, Ramji.
Yes, Nagendra ji. So to start with, it's a nice joke. So they leave nothing. And so I remembered another similar joke, but yes, writing notes and then how they are understood. So it takes back to the same chapter of today, right? It is all about how other persons understand, and then it should not be of our concern many times how other persons understand of what we say. And it's a great learning in life, and I always reflect upon the nearest relationships. And if we work on the nearest relationships, it becomes easier to understand these dynamics. And this journey of this book is so beautiful. The whole aspect of life is embedded in very beautiful way, telling poetry and giving beautiful statements by wonderful authors. and then going through into the topic, right, guiding everyone, and then with the activities that will help in changing one's own perceptions in life and then making things better. So I really loved it. So thanks a lot for bringing this book into our lives, into Beam platform, and yes, looking forward for new things to come. And even today, what was very interesting for me is to observe the placement of the words change completely what they bring out. You see the self love versus loving oneself. One is in giving, the other one is taking. What a great change just in, jumbling the words. So we have to be very conscious about these things, and very little change make greater impact in lives. So although each of these chapter was short, yet they have got a great message. And thanks again. Thank you.
Thank you, Ramji. Thank you for, you know, adding your very, very useful insights and some very knowledgeable words again. Yeah, thank you, Sandeep ji. Thank you, Seema ji. Yeah, the name of the book is Happiness Here and Everywhere. I will write it down here. Happiness Here and Everywhere by Just Win Singh. So that's about the book. Any more sharings? So if no more sharings, then we can close the call, and everyone have a nice day. Thank you, Rita ji. So thank you, everyone. See you next time.